Today we're at the historic LAPD Elysian Park Academy. Join Chief Charlie Beck for a conversation regarding the Chief's message for the month of February 2014. Over at the Westchester Academy, there's a plaque that's placed at the rear entrance, and it was placed there by a graduating class, and it states, "Through these gates pass the best trained officers in the world." That's quite a boastful claim, is it not?
We can accurately make that claim. You know, nobody works harder at training than the LAPD. Nobody works harder at making sure that our officers are as good as they can possibly be. You know, this is a passion here, and I think that it shows. When you were a recruit and sitting in the classroom, were you actually sitting there thinking, you know what, someday I'm going to be the boss? Oh, I never thought that. Never thought that. My goal, and you know, I'd been a reserve officer and all that, so I knew a little bit about the department. You know, I just wanted to be a training officer. I would be perfectly happy, and that's why, you know, I have such a great passion for our cops. You know, because every one of those jobs is just as hard as mine and just as hard as any of the other ones. You know, doing them right is its own reward. How has the recruit experience changed from when you were on the job to where we are now? You know, it has changed. I mean, the job of police officer has changed. It's a much harder job than when I went through. I think the recruit phase, you know, has the same kind of flavor to it. It's a lot of panic and fear and, you know, hard work and all that stuff. But when you come out of the academy and all the great volume of things you have to know and the wide array of skill sets that you have to have, much broader than when I was a cop. And one of the other reasons I appreciate our folks. But one of the things that they don't know, like, for example, our in-service training, is where we go into a classroom or we go into a training session and we deal with subjects such as autism or dealing encounters with the mentally ill. Yeah, we do all of that. You know, this is one of the learning sites for the United States in dealing with those kind of issues, and that's one of the things that police officers have to deal with every day. You know, all the crisis in our mental health systems falls on the police officer. You know, we're the ones that have to fill in the gaps. You know, we're the glue that holds this all thing together, and I think that shows in our training. A lot of it now is on the land system. Yeah. Are we going to continue that? Some of us work better in a classroom than we do staring at a monitor. Well, and of course that's absolutely true. You know, the important things we do in the classroom. But there's a lot of updates that we can do on the lands, and we can fulfill some post requirements and keep folks in the field. You know, and all of us have sat through classes where we're going, why am I here? You know, this is 2 minutes of information crammed into 8 hours of training. You know, and those kind of things we want to do on the lands. You know, I have no other resource but your time. You know, if I waste your time, then I waste the most precious thing that the city gives me to keep this city safe. So I want to use your time wisely. We'll keep doing some things electronically when we can, when they make sense, but the important things we'll do in the classroom. PhD, Dr. Pinnell, overseeing our systems, has made all the difference in the world. Back when my dad ran the academy, you know, it was all done by cops, and they use cop logic, which is great for most things, but you know, there is a value to higher education, and Dr. Pinnell brings that. And so when recruits see things, they see things in packages, not in silos. You know, they see the whole issue that you got to deal with in all of its complexities, you know, and that's the way we kind of put it on them so that they're better prepared when they go out in the field. Sir, one of the issues of training, particularly in service, a number of officers are asking about shooting training days where a division will go out to, for example, into the Los Angeles range and shoot. Sure. And you know, of course, that's one of the great tools that we have, and I think it's good on a lot of aspects. It's not only good for the actual training, but it's good for a division, you know, to get out and spend time together and build teamwork and team practices. When you come to a classroom and you train, and you either train as an individual or you train with somebody that you don't work with normally, that's good too, but to train with the person you work with every day, that's even better, you know, because there's a reason there's two of us in every car. You know, you got to be a team, and team keeps you safe, and it also makes you much more effective. So training together is highly commendable. Been many people in the history of our department that have contributed to our success, but there are very few who have actually contributed more than the retiring Gerald Chaleff. Yes, Mr. Chaleff will be sorely missed. You know, he made a huge impact on this police department, and he did it as somebody coming from the outside, which is even more remarkable. You know, and I think in the end, you know, Jerry came to love this place just like all of us do. And every time I talk to him, you know, the number one thing he takes away from his time at the Los Angeles Police Department, which now, you know, spans well over a decade, is the quality of the people here. You know, and no matter where you go, you will never find better people than work in the Los Angeles Police Department. And he brings a lot of credibility to the process. You know, being a former president of the Police Commission, you know, being a member of the Defense Bar, and, you know, president of the ACLU, you know, all of that brings a lot of credibility. You know, when Mr. Chaleff says that we're doing things the right way, people believe it, and that's really important. And I think that for people watching this, they need to realize how instrumental he was in getting us through the consent decree, you know, and that's a remarkable achievement that the men and women of the Los Angeles Police Department can claim as their own. But they got to look to the grandfather, the godfather of the consent decree, and that's Gerald Chaleff.
One of the issues that he dealt with, particularly with Frontline, is that he talked about the diversity in the hiring of our department.
And diversity is key. You know, this is the most diverse city department. This is, you know, the most diverse major police department. We almost exactly reflect the community that we serve. And it wasn't always like that. And it's only been through hard work, better recruiting, you know, making sure that we continually hire, that we've been able to achieve that. And, you know, Jerry has been one of the folks that kept us on track.
You know, when we talk about people that retire, like Mr. Chaleff, seems to be irreplaceable. Do we have people in the wings coming up, sir?
We've hired a replacement, R.F. Alcon, the former deputy mayor with our last mayor. Great guy. Everybody's going to find R.F. to be not only approachable, but somebody that's also very knowledgeable. You know, a former U.S. attorney, a huge resume, and we're thrilled to have him. And Jerry's not going anywhere. You know, Jerry will be part of the LAPD family forever, and, you know, he'll be there as an advisor and as a friend.
When we talk about the retiring, you know, there are numbers that are being thrown around about the command staff that are actually moving up. A lot of them are in the drop program.
Sure.
And within a matter of a couple of years, we're going to see a lot of people that are going to be leaving, and there'll be a new face to the LAPD.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the cycle of things, you know. That is the way that the department has always worked. And you know, the advantage of drop is that it's much more planned out now. So 2015, we'll see a number of retirements, and with that, a number of promotions. It was great talking to all of you. I want you to stay safe, wear your seatbelts, and take care of each other.